Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we visit a closed high school in Hull with a new purpose to serve the city's adult learners. We have the latest sports and business news, and tonight's guest is Ruth Getz, who runs a vintage singing group. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Richards. Time now for the news headlines.
Unemployment across Yorkshire and the Humber has fallen. The percentage of working-age people in employment in September to November 2015 was at 71.3. That's an increase of 0.2% compared to figures for June to August last year. Around 77,000 people in Yorkshire and the Humber are claiming benefits, a fall of 17,000. Across the UK, employment is at a record high. The Scarthow and Waltham Community Group on Facebook, which aims to bring people together, has given the public the chance to air their views to local officials. Since starting at the beginning of December, the social media page now has around 500 followers, following alongside Scarthow Watch, a page which has around 900 members. Well, Grimsby MP Melanie Onn and Humberside Police's Neighbourhood Policing Inspector Mel Christie were among those who attended a meeting held by John Stobart, who set up the group in response to a spate of burglaries in the area.
It's unfortunate for an awful lot of people, and especially the elderly people that we all have to look out for. And that was another reason behind it, is that when you look how many people that we've got in our area, years ago you would have known every person on the street, whereas now there's probably, with busy lives and people being as busy as what they are, it's probable that many people don't really know their neighbours. So the idea was that maybe we could get the thing back to people knowing more people and looking out for each other.
A wheelchair basketball enthusiast has launched a new sports team following a grant of more than £4,000 from East Lindsey District Council. Adrian Kennedy has set up the Hoop Stars Hot Wheels team in Louth, which aims to compete with teams across the country. And Adrian says it's a sport everyone can enjoy.
There's quite a few people have done wheelchair basketball at lower levels, and it's given them the opportunity to get out there and be exercising themselves and socialising, and it's not there. It wasn't in Louth. I have a colleague that lives nearby, and he says, why don't we try? He says, we can set a club up. We have the chairs, I own the chairs, so as like an entrepreneur, as we're saying, I go along, provide the chairs, they provide their bodies, and have a great time each night.
And that's the latest from the news.
For 12 years, Endeavour High School on Beverley Road in Hull had over 1,000 students per year passing through its doors. But last summer, the last set of pupils left before the school closed. Now, a year later, the site has been adapted to serve adult learners and help create a skilled workforce, as Dave Nunn discovered.
12 years ago, over 1,000 students started studying at Hull's Endeavour High School on Beverley Road in the city. Last year, the last pupil passed through its doors and it was shut down. The school building, however, is now seeing a new lease of life.
Well, this site was previously one of our high schools, and we had to close it the last summer. So we had then to take a decision about what do we do with this facility, because it's only 10 years old. It was purpose-built, obviously, for education. What we decided we'd do, what made sense, would be to rationalise our adult education and our skills, whole city training, skills provision, into one venue. We had them scattered really across the city, some of which are still open, but the majority of that provision we've now centralised to this site.
The former school was gutted, then refurbished and redecorated to make it fit for its purpose as the Endeavour Learning and Skills Centre. In times when money is still short, the council says it made sense to use the old school site and use some of the adult learners in the city to help with the renovations.
Actually, it would cost less than I thought it would. I can't give you a particular figure, but don't forget, of course, a lot of our learners are carpenters, painters and decorators, designers, people of that nature. So we actually used our own people to do some of the work that we needed doing. We wanted to recarpet, we wanted to repaint, redecorate, rearrange, So we used some of the people that we had to do that. That saved us quite a lot of money, as you can imagine. But it also has the benefit of using people who are going to use the centre. So then you're saying to them, what do you want? How will it feel good? How will it suit your needs? What do you want as an adult? Because if you're a post-16 learner or you're 92 and you're doing an adult ed course, you know, you're an adult, what do you want and how do you want the place to feel? So we've had that opportunity really of talking to groups of people and really not having to spend an enormous amount of money to make it fit for purpose.
The services that are provided at Endeavour are changing lives. Ryan Cook is a learner at Endeavour and says before he came here he had nothing, and now Endeavour has helped him get the qualifications he needs.
Endeavour's done everything that can possibly help me. I've passed my level 1, they've helped me pass my level 2, I've done my English and my maths. I'm progressing on with my English. I've got another level 2 English to do, which is I'm a bit worried and scarce about because I've never done English before. I failed everything at school. I've had nothing, but Endeavour's putting me through and helping me. If they've helped me through my English at the minute, I'm struggling with reading and writing, but they're putting me through the stuff that I need and helping me out every possible way they can.
With City of Culture around the corner and the Siemens development looking for skilled jobs, Councillor Nicholas says that centres like Endeavour are key to Hull's future livelihood.
Yeah, I mean, Hull City Council spend a lot of time saying to people in Hull, we have an amazingly positive future. The City of Culture, we've got the Siemens deal, we've got other companies similar to Siemens who've already signed up, who we know are coming. We want those good qualified skilled jobs, as many of those as possible, to go to people in Hull, but they won't have a chance of being successful in applying for those jobs if we don't skill them. So having a centre like this and really saying to people, get yourself in here, think about what you want from the future and we will help support you in that path.
And if you have any news or sports stories for us, or you'd like to appear on our news sofa, our sofa of news, you can get in touch with us by emailing news@estuary.tv or by calling us on 01472 31553. My guest tonight runs a singing group with all the hits of yesteryear. Ruth Getz joins me now. Ruth, welcome. Thank you very much for coming in.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Your singing group is the Vintage Sing Up.
Yep, that's right.
And what prompted you to start this?
Well, if I can just say, it hasn't actually started yet.
Okay.
But what prompted me to start it is that I'm a singer myself, and I perform songs from the 20s through to about the 50s. And I was always getting people coming up at the end of gigs saying, I love singing, but I'm useless. Or, you know, I love singing in the shower, you know, but I just don't want, you know, I don't want anyone to hear me. And I just thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could have, you know, an hour a week where you can just sing just for the pure joy of it.
So what's going to happen? The Vintage Sing Up is meeting on the 3rd of February?
That's the first day, and I'm going to run 4 sessions initially just to see, you know, how people enjoy it, really.
Okay, and so the first of those sessions, the 3rd of February,
Yep.
and it's at the Mashup in Hull?
Union Mashup on
Union
Princes
Mashup,
Avenue, yes.
And the whole point is that people come there
Yeah.
to sing purely for their own pleasure,
Yeah.
not in front of an audience.
Not in front of an audience, no, just the group of people that turn up, just come along, and it'll be, you know, purely singing for the joy of singing. That's the idea behind it.
And so you won't be being horrible and telling them that they're
No.
off pitch and they're,
No.
please, Trina, don't be so flat, please, madam at the back there. And
No, I'm not Simon Cowell.
Okay, good.
It's not a lesson either, just to make, you know, it's really not a lesson. We'll do a little bit of a warm-up, just because that's a nice thing to do. And then it'll just be sing, sing, sing.
Perfect, absolutely, sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Now your repertoire is that period that you've described.
Yeah.
That's just fantastic,
Yeah.
lovable songs, aren't
Yeah,
they?
totally. It's like songs that everyone can relate to and seems to appeal across, you know, all ages, really.
And there are those singers of that period as well. I mean, I guess from the 1920s, we don't have all that many recordings from the 1920s that survive as classics, but from through the 30s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
You think of Sinatra
Yep.
and Ella Fitzgerald
Yep,
especially,
absolutely.
and Nina Simone and people like that. And
Peggy Lee,
Etta
Etta James. There's literally
and a
there's
few
more than you
blokes there
think.
as well. I mean,
There's
Crosby and Sinatra and people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's literally, like you said, there's a wealth of material to draw on. And I'm also hoping, because I've put down that it's the 20s through to the 60s, so I'm also hoping we might do a little bit of rock and roll-y type stuff and Motown, 60s Motown.
Oh, wonderful, lovely.
Yeah, because they're just so great to sing.
What is it about those songs, that period?
They are just timeless. they're enduring, they are funny, they've got witty lyrics,
Well,
the melodies are, incredible.
The lyrics are poems in their own right sometimes.
Yeah.
The Cole Porter and the Gershwins
Yes.
and things like that.
Exactly.
They're pieces of literature apart
Yeah,
from
they
being
really,
pieces
really
of music.
are. And, what they say is it always kind of reflects, everyday life, and we can all relate to it.
What is it about singing that makes you feel so happy?
I just think it's that pure release of tension, and it's just a very joyous thing to just let go and sing out.
It gets the endomorphins or something.
Yeah,
going,
there's
doesn't it?
something scientific that which I'm not sure what that is.
We don't need to know the science. The mystery is enough.
Yeah, that's it.
That can inspire us. Anyway, the first session is the 3rd of February, and people should get in touch with you before coming.
Yes, please. So the first session is Wednesday the 3rd of February at Union Mashup, and if you'd like to come along, I'm asking that people just send me an email, which is info@ruthgetz, that's Ruth, R-U-T-H, Getz, GETZ.co.uk.
And that's Ruth Getz, all one word. Ruth, don't go away.
Word.
We'll talk a little bit more after the break.
Thank you.
Please stay with us. As coming up after the break, we have the business news for East Yorkshire and Northern Lincolnshire, and Erica Barker will be bringing you all the regional headlines. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come, we have the latest business and sports news from around our area. And my guest Ruth Getz is still with me, talking about your singing group, the Vintage Sing Up. We were talking about the fact that it's people turning up to your group, not to sing to an audience, to sing for their own pleasure, purely for fun. Nothing to worry about, no self-consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
Just clear out the old pipes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who's welcome? I take it that you're not going to be doing auditions or anything like that?
No, not at all. The opposite of that. No auditions, no ability, no experience is necessary. All you really need is just the desire to sing, sing your heart out. And that's all I ask.
Men and women, baritones, sopranos, the whole lot.
Absolutely. If you are a baritone, come along. Anyone, it really is. For everybody.
Okay, and how, you're a sort of semi-professional singer?
Yes, I do go out singing, yes.
How did you get into it in the first place?
Well, I've been singing forever, for a long time, in various sort of forms. I've done some session singing, and I've sung in a few bands, and for the last 5 years I've been singing at like weddings and events and restaurants and all sorts of things, the songs of the 20s through to the 50s.
And these songs are still popular. I know we talked about why, but the fact is that, people, you're much younger than I am, but neither of us were, not conscious and listening to music in the 60s, certainly not the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s.
Yeah.
Why do we still know about them? How do they survive?
Because they're just, the songs that survive for a reason, I think, just because, they've got amazing melodies that you just can't help but sing along to.
Shall we turn into two very old people and sit here saying, I don't know about this modern music, frankly, I can't understand the lyrics?
Yeah, I am a bit like that. But, there's great music out there now. But, for me, singing, these are the sorts of songs that I like to sing.
What kind of interest have you got so far? Has anybody been getting in contact?
Oh, I've been absolutely overwhelmed. I cannot believe how many people are interested in singing, in this way, just purely for the joy of singing. It's not about a performance. When I first thought of the idea, I kind of thought, oh, will it lead up to a performance? And I kind of like mooted it with a few friends, and they said, oh no, that would really put me off. So I thought, oh, okay, I won't think about it in those terms. I'll think about it as just something you can enjoy, in its own right. For
its own sake, not for any other purpose.
Yeah.
Intrinsic value.
Yeah, I mean, it possibly might lead to something at some point, but certainly for the, in the initial stages, that's how I see it.
You said that first session is on the 3rd of February, but you've got a few more sessions planned as well?
Yes, I've got 4 sessions planned after that, and I can tell you when they are.
Please do.
They are Wednesday the 3rd of February, the 10th of February, the 17th of February, and then we miss a week because of various reasons, and the 2nd of March. So those are the dates. But I can give you all that information if you email me.
Okay, well, I think you better just remind us of those contact details then.
Okay, so my email address is info@ruthgetz, Ruth Getz, and it's GETZ, all one word, .co.uk.
And anybody interested in singing can turn up and have what sounds like just an absolutely fantastic time.
Yes. Oh, 7:30 to 8:30. Forgot to say the time.
Brilliant. Ruth, I will clear my voice and I will look forward to listening to some music.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks very much, Ruth.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with that. And now Eric is here to bring us the latest business news.
People wishing to make nominations for this year's Chairman's Awards in the East Riding have until the end of the month to do so. The annual awards, which are held at a ceremony at Spa Bridlington in May, are presented to individuals, businesses and projects that have helped improve the area over the past year. The awards are split into several categories, including recognising those that have made a contribution and projects that have made an environmental impact. And entries are now open for the 2016 Northern Lincolnshire Business Awards, organised by the Hull and Humber Chamber of Commerce. There are 13 accolades up for grabs, including the International Trade Award and the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Manager of the event, Anne Tate, says it's vital for the success of the local economy.
They're very important because they showcase the amazing talent and the range of businesses that we've got in this area, and there's a lot to shout about. It's a chance for businesses to showcase themselves not only in front of their peers in their own sector, but in front of different sectors. It's a great marketing opportunity, it's free to enter, and a really good way of profiling your business.
Make the most of opportunities available to this sector. That's the message being delivered ahead of Chartered Accountants Duncan and Topless's annual Farm Business Update, run in partnership with Brown & Co. Experts in renewables and farming technology will be among those speaking at the firm's event on Wednesday the 3rd of February at Greetham Valley Golf Club near Oakham at 8:30 a.m. and at the Petwood Hotel Woodall Spa at 2 p.m. The Lincolnshire village of Ancaster is set to get a new co-op store and 14-plot housing development, which is due for completion this year. Estate agents Piggott and Crone say the development will bring 15 new jobs to the area since they sold the 1.1-acre plot in a deal completed 18 months ago. Piggott and Crone has been involved in developing this scheme with buyers, Wheatcroft Land and TPS to secure an investment of more than £2 million.
And Eric is going to stay with me now to talk us through some of the headlines from around the region. What have you found after all that?
For my breath then.
After all that fascinating business news, Erica, what else has been going on?
I'm going to start off with a story in the Hull Daily Mail. Hull taxi firm is to install CCTV cameras in all of its vehicles after false accusations were made about drivers on Facebook. So Kevin Marsh, the manager of 57 cars, says there has also been a rise in physical and verbal attacks on drivers in recent months. So cameras will be installed now in all 160 of the firm's cars.
That's a bit frightening, isn't it? That shouldn't be a dangerous job.
I mean, a lot of groups have been calling, haven't they, for safety, be it taxi drivers or be it passengers, that CCTV should be installed when you think about the times that they drive and the fact it's members of the public, and you know, but this firm is going ahead with it, and the manager is also taking action as well against things that have been said on Facebook and Twitter.
Right, okay, and the laws of defamation, I suspect, are very difficult to apply on those social media.
300 people have signed a petition backing calls for either a pedestrian underpass or footbridge to be included, and this is to do with a major overhaul of Tollbar roundabout.
This is in Grimsby?
Yes. It comes a week after a public meeting was held in New Waltham. They were discussing 10 sets of traffic lights to be installed and pedestrian crossings. They are still in talks about that, so time will tell.
10 sets of traffic lights?
Yes.
OK, well, that's going to be a mixed blessing for drivers, I suspect.
Possibly. We shall see. Good news, 200 jobs are up for grabs in Cleethorpes. Now, it does say that these are seasonal jobs. This is at Thorpe Park, but it's still good news that jobs are being created. Staff from there will be at the Job Centre in Grimsby on Thursday, February the 4th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So that's summer work, I guess, which is what Cleethorpes thrives on.
Definitely.
Cleethorpes is the pearl of the Humber Riviera.
Is it really?
It is.
It is a beautiful place, got to be said. And work on a new village hall in Humberston is to begin in the next few weeks. So great news there. It's a new hall that's going to be near the current Endevour Hall facility. It's off Church Lane. £150,000 is being spent on the project, with £100,000 coming from the parish council, coffers and a public works loan. Board loan funding the rest.
And of course there will always be, as there always is when public money is spent, some controversy about whether they really need one.
Oh, well,
let me get into that another time.
It's good news for the people who'd like to see it.
Very quickly one more.
And great news then for a Holborn documentary maker. This is Sean McAllister, originally of Rest Hull, is in the running for the most outstanding debut by a British writer. His documentary is called Syrian Love Story.
Excellent, Erica. Good luck to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time now for the latest sports news.
Hull City will travel to Bury in the FA Cup fourth round after the Lancashire club beat Bradford City in a replay on Tuesday night. The tie finished 0-0 after extra time, but a penalty shootout put Bury through. The Tigers will travel to Gig Lane on Saturday the 30th of January. Young Grimsby Town goalkeeper Callum Baystock could miss up to a year of action after injuring his anterior cruciate ligament for a second time. The 19-year-old, who only recently signed a new deal at Blundell Park, missed a year of action after injuring his other knee before returning to the squad last year. Elsewhere, Hull Kingston Rovers coach Chris Chester says the club does have room to manoeuvre if they want to bring in a new signing ahead of the start of Super League. The Robins suffered a heavy friendly defeat to Huddersfield on Saturday, but Chester says he won't rush into anything.
We've got some room for, a bit of movement there, but it's got to be the right person that fits into, the culture here, and, certainly won't be rushing into anything. If the right player comes along, then so be it, but, if not, then I'm happy to go with the squad that we've got.
And we hope to bring you the news from the other side of the city in tomorrow's show ahead of Sunday's derby. And finally, with Hull FC, their veteran centre Richard Whiting has told the Hull Daily Mail that selection for the game will hold the key to earning a spot for the start of the season. The Black and Whites currently have 35 squad members, including trialist Lee Smith. And that's all from the sport.
And that's it for tonight. If you have a news story for us, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 31 553. Until tomorrow, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Sunny intervals on Thursday with a little patchy rain later, highs of 4 degrees. Much milder Friday with high winds and showers.
Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.